Welcome everybody to the Check Swing podcast with myself and of course Coach Santa, who will be with us quite shortly. But before we get started, I just wanted to say one quick thing. Ladies and gentlemen, today we celebrate the long overdue induction of two baseball legends into the National Baseball Hall of Fame, Dick Allen and Dave Parker. Their remarkable careers have finally received the recognition they so richly deserve. Dick Allen, a towering figure of the 1960s and 70s, wasn't just a powerful slugger with a 292 batting average, 351 home runs, and 1,119 RBI. He was a trailblazer who faced the harsh realities of racial tensions, one of the most challenging eras of baseball history. As a young African American star in Philadelphia, Allen endured relentless racial abuse from fans and even within his own team's clubhouse. Yet he rose above the hostility, claiming the 1964 National League Rookie of the Year and the 1972 American League MVP. His resilience on and off the field became a beacon for future generations. Dave Parker, the Cobra, was not only a seven-time All-Star and a two-time World Series champion, but also a pioneer in addressing racial inequalities in sports. Over his 19-season career, Parker posted a 290 batting average, hit 339 home runs, and collected 1,493 RBI while winning three Gold Glove awards. Yet, like Allen, Parker faced systemic racism and scrutiny that often overshadowed his on field achievements. Despite these challenges, he continued to shine, earning the 1978 National League MVP and leading the Pittsburgh Pirates to a World Series victory in 1979. Their struggles with racial tensions were not just battles they fought personally, they were emblematic of the broader societal struggle for equality. Their perseverance and excellence in the face of such adversity reminds us of the power of resilience and the ongoing fight for justice in and beyond sports. As we honor Dick Allen and Dave Parker today, let us celebrate not only their incredible accomplishments, but also their courage in breaking barriers and paving the way for others. Their enshrinement in Cooperstown is a victory for baseball and for the principles of equality and perseverance. Congratulations, excuse me, congratulations to these extraordinary athletes on this well deserved recognition. As I bring Coach Santa in here, we spoke about Dick Allen on many times on this show. Uh, for the past couple years, we've been reading for him to get into the Hall of Fame, and he's finally in the Hall of Fame. And before I ask you to comment on that, Coach Stan, I just want to first off, like I always like to start the show, I like to ask you how you been. So, brother, how you been?
I am feeling good, my friends. Was glad to hear about the news on Sunday. It was a little overwhelming to see the family reaction. Because I think when I heard that he was getting to the Hall of Fame, I was like, I had mixed emotions about it, but we'll get into that. But
Hmm.
yeah, we're coming up on the holiday season, so I'm looking forward to strategically taking 3 weeks vacation off. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Hey,
S-
great minds think alike.
hey man, hey. So yeah, I'm looking forward to a break from the real world, and looking forward to some R&R, some detox of the brain, and restarting in 25.
Absolutely, I'll have to second that. I am
Second that emotion.
looking forward to some what I believe is well deserved time off, much needed time off, some time off that I need to recharge the brain and the anything else that gets
Mhm.
recharged besides a cell phone. I'm going to recharge it, and I'll be ready to come. I'm hopefully I'll be coming back fresh 2025 with a great new perspective and a whole new meter dealing with the BS that you deal with on a daily basis. I'll just keep it at that.
Amen.
Um, so we have a few things we're going to be talking about today. Of course, Dave Parker and Dick Allen have made it into the Hall of Fame. Um, I want to dig into Santa a little more about the mixed emotions that he had when he found out that he got in. Um, Juan Soto signs the richest contract in sports history. Uh, ooh, when he signs with thinking Mets.
The stinking Mets.
Stinking Mets. He signs with the stinking Mets. But we'll talk about that a little bit. The Phillies were actually, from what I'm told, the Phillies were anticipating the Mets signing Juan Soto. But we also will be talking about is there trouble in the bird's nest? And I know, um, Coach San, I know you're in the city of Baltimore, and I don't know how much Philly sports radio get to consume, but it has been a very hot topic the last 2 days on Philly sports radio. These issues arising around the Philadelphia Eagles. And it just so happens that it's 20 years from the issues arising with Donovan McNabb and Terrell Owens. And not only that, they're also playing the Pittsburgh Steelers this week, in which the issues with Donovan and Terrell Owens seemed to start. That's when they had their first loss of the season that year, and Terrell Owens was following McNabb up and down the sideline, getting in his ear. And we don't really know what was said. We never really said what was said, but from that point forward, we knew things were different. And they went on and won the next week, and they act like they're hugging it out. But we all know how that ended. That ended with sit-ups in the driveway. So, and I was working in the news at the time, so we were watching like every second of him, of what was going on that day. So we got some things to talk about, and I'm going to bring the Hall of Famer Rob Battle in here with us. Welcome to the show, Mr. Rob Battle, the Hall of Famer. Let me go ahead and change up that background now that we got 3 people. I got to make a new background for us, y'all.
We do, yeah.
I'll make a new background for us.
Yeah, Rob looks like he's at his summer home, just chilling, like next to the sauna.
I don't have my setup yet, man. We still got everything all over the place.
Where'd you move to?
We were over there by the art museum, and now we're over in Winfield by near St. Joe's.
Nice.
So
over in my old neighborhood.
I'm stepping my game up though. I just bought one of those cool mics and everything. Once I get my setup together.
Oh snap!
I mean, it ain't going to be coming out of the wall. It don't have an arm on it yet, but
you done caught the bug. It starts with one.
Yo, he's gonna have a spinoff. He's gonna be like After Hours with the Battle. Watch. play some 90s R&B. Okay.
I can absolutely see that.
Atta baby.
Let's talk about these birds, y'all. Let's talk about these birds. Not like I said, Miguel, I don't know how much sports talk radio you get to consume. How much Philly? Do you listen to Baltimore sports talk or DC sports? Did you listen to their sports talk?
Dude, I try. Mm-hmm. I swear I do, but it just seems like there's a lot of. I mean, they really care about the Ravens because, I mean, again, it's a two-sport city. You know what I mean? There's no basketball, there's no hockey, but they really care about their Ravens. They really care about their Orioles. But a lot of the it just seems like it's nothing like Philly. I will say that. They don't kind of go as hard, except for anything that the quarterback does, because they were really, really harping on him after the Eagles loss, especially when Lamar Jackson, he joked about, his mom cursing him out and not taking the lanes and stuff like that. But there were, again, like we pointed out, to a couple of throws that were made that were like throwing it into the dirt and all this stuff. And now there's the talk of, can he win the big game, which was kind of like the talk over the past couple of years. But now it's like, okay, wait a minute, just signed a big deal, negotiated himself without an agent, all that good stuff. And now it's like, can he win the big game? But as far as me listening to Philly radio, there's an app that I have used, so I do get some of the shows. I think I stopped listening to Philly radio my last year in Philly because I just thought it was, you could tell based on the whoever the host was, they were literally fighting for content. Like it like stuff out of the clear blue, like, oh, Bryce Harper likes to wear green shoes. That's ugly. Like, why would he do that? That's an embarrassment to it just got too nitpicky for me. And it just seemed like it was more, they were just looking to argue about anything. So it reminded me a lot of ESPN.
It's funny you say that about why you stopped listening, because just yesterday something came out about I'll say probably I don't know if he's the most popular. He might be the most popular sports talk personality here that has their own show that's been around for a while. Kind of hinted to the fact that, or hinted to that another station here. There's only 2 sports stations, but the other station here in sports talk Philadelphia was stealing ideas from them.
I saw that article. I did. I read that. That actually made the news down here.
Did it really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. But before we get into this Eagles topic, I want to start by asking the Hall of Famer a question that will give us a little perspective into this before we dive in. Of course, Rob, I'm talking about you.
Damn, thanks.
Well, he's the only one that's Hall of Fame that I know of.
I mean, I won 3 championships in a row. Doesn't that count for anything? I wasn't a Hall of Famer or an All Star.
You should talk to Northeast about the Hall of Fame then.
You said what?
I said he should talk to Northeast High about they got. I don't know if they have one.
I don't. No, they don't. And I was like a 220 hitter, so I probably wouldn't make it.
That's not horrible. That's good. That's good.
By today's standards, but by Hall of Fame standards, absolutely not.
Question for you, Rob, is how important, if at all, is it that you can get along with your teammates on a professional sports team?
I mean, I think it takes a special group to, how sometimes you hear those stories like, yo, these guys won a championship. They didn't even like each other off the court or something like that. Those are, I think, special cases. I think it's important to at least have a certain percentage of folks who are getting along. But that can't be your leader. When you look at the situation like with Kobe Bryant and Jordan, it wasn't until they started embracing and opening up where they started to have that success as a team. So it is important, because here's the thing. Once you start a season and you're on a team, and you guys have been on teams, college and that stuff, you're spending more time with your teammate than you do with your own family.
Yeah.
So that's kind of hard to be just constantly in your head, like, oh, I don't bang with him. I don't bang. You see him every day. You got to talk to him in the midst of the game, on the field or on the court. Like, it's hard, and I think it's stressful. I think it just takes a lot of energy to hate, to be like, yo, I don't bang with him. Yeah. And
so I ask you that question because, of course, if you haven't heard, after the Eagles game Sunday against Carolina Panthers, in which they won by 6, and everybody in the world feels like the game should not have been that close.
Mm-hmm.
reporters asked, of course, reporters go in the locker room and ask questions. Everybody knows this, and they asked AJ Brown, basically paraphrasing what's going on with what's wrong with the offense right now. And long story short, AJ Brown's answer was passing. Okay, he didn't say Jalen Hurts. He didn't say Kellen Moore. He didn't say anything specific, right? But he said passing, which leads everybody to have their own opinions of what he was talking about. And it has become an issue here in Philadelphia. Now, I will say this. Most of the reporters that I've heard talk that are close to the team, I mean, I'm talking about the beat reporters and stuff like that. They have all said it's not that big a deal. People are making it a bigger deal than what it really is. And I can believe that because we tend to do that in Philadelphia. It's a story. You got to run with it, right? But it just reminds me a lot of Terrell Owens and Donovan McNabb when they had their issues, and they were a successful team at the time. They were undefeated, had their issues, lost the game to the Pittsburgh Steelers, came back, made it happen the next week against, I forgot who it was. And they go on to go.
It was against the Cowboys.
Okay, it was against Cowboys. Cowboys was draws back then, so yeah, of course they was gonna beat them anyway. Actually, no, that wasn't that bad. That's when they had Roy Williams and all them back then. They were okay.
They were okay. They just weren't. They were rebuilding. They were on the rebuild, and that was the following. That was the game. McNabb scrambled for like 52 seconds and found Fred X. And
yeah. Well, was that the game?
That was the next week because I think he had like 3 touchdowns. T.O. had like 3 touchdowns, and then they did that mock walk on the sidelines.
Right. So I do remember the mock. I'm gonna ask you guys because for me, I'm a little concerned. I think AJ's probably gonna have a big day this week, to be honest with you. But I'm a little concerned, like, because there's a piece of me that's like, well, look, y'all winning. Go ahead and win and be happy with winning. But I guess that, the fact that he's a wide receiver and wide receivers are considered divas and they always say the wrong things. We're shining a bigger light on it. Miguel, is this really a big deal?
It can be if it's not squelched right away. And the thing that I was thinking about there's a popular reporter that I used to always say for decades that chemistry is overrated. You don't need chemistry, blah 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 blah. But you do need a cohesiveness. I mean, I've been on teams. Me and Rob have been on football teams where we absolutely hated each other. But on game day, we put that aside and we did our do, and that was that. But it's very difficult if it's like he was, alluding to that. If it's leaders or some of your best players that are having issues, that's going to be an issue. The Oakland A's won 3 straight World Series from 72, 73, 74. And there were rumors of dugout fights. I think Reggie Jackson punched out Sal Bando and somebody else was sleeping with somebody else's wife and all this stuff. But amongst all the turmoil, they got it all together at the end of those 3 seasons, made it, won the pennant, got to the World Series, and did their thing. Back then, without social media, probably easier to do now today. But with this now going into its 24th hour, and with what's his name, Brandon
BG throwing fuel on the fire.
Yeah, that absolutely did not help.
He knows.
And I think he knows better, but I think he just had that moment, which I think social media tends to do sometimes. It's like it gives you the opportunity to say something about it, but then you say too much. So, this morning was the apology tour, I believe. He was on the morning show and tried to apologize it away.
walk it back.
It's out there. You can't retract. You can't retract it.
And you can't, right? And it's like, I don't know what it is about today's players. It's like, even when the season's going good, somebody has to say something stupid, But to kind of close this out, I understand AJ's frustration because I wouldn't be too concerned about everything. Yeah, because they're winning, but I was concerned in the fourth quarter with some of the decisions that Jalen was making. Like, for instance, when we had the chance to put the game away, and I think he was rolling out to the right with nobody open. 99% of quarterbacks throw that ball away, but he slides and takes a 13-yard. I don't understand it. I don't know if anybody can explain it to me, but that's concerning.
I'll tell you why I think that happened. If I'm not mistaken, was that an RPO play?
It was an RPO play, and I get that he didn't want.
Hold on. So if he throws that ball away, that's an automatic penalty because the linemen were downfield. Because he started running with the ball. Lineman went downfield. He throws that ball away. The second he releases that ball, it's a penalty. So it's either slide and get the ball here or get the penalty and get the ball here.
But here's the thing. What's the penalty? 5 yards?
I don't know.
The penalty's 5 yards and you replay the down. Instead, you lose 10 yards. Actually, I think you lost 12 yards and you lose the down. At least with the penalty, you replay the down or they, wipe it out and it's like a 4th and shorter. It's those type of decisions that are starting to become frustrating, even in the because let's call a spade a spade. Hurts has regressed, and the defense is the only reason why we're in any of these games. The defense is saving the season right now.
Absolutely. And Saquon.
Other than that, I like Hurts is really disappointing. He has really been disappointing. And if he plays like this, I see a first round exit.
Rob, what's your thoughts on it? Is it really an issue?
Those guys were friends before. So
Godfather of children.
Yeah, I don't think I wouldn't say it's an issue. The issue is the passing game. I don't think what he was saying, he was taking a shot. Maybe the way he, relayed the message could have been different. He could have said, "Hey, I think we're doing a great job running the ball. I think we need to do a better job in the passing game now and put it all together." He could have said something like that. But I do think that there's an issue going on with Hurts and just making the reads and releasing the ball to the open receivers. And you mentioned Terrell Owens. I don't think it's similar to that at all, because those guys were feuding and they still made it happen. TL still got his targets. There was never an issue. Like, when you have that type of receiver, what's the issue? Like, I don't remember, but I do think it can become an issue, because if you see it spilling onto the sidelines and people see it, like, I don't know. Remind me if I'm wrong. I don't recall seeing. I've seen T.O. get upset about it. I don't recall like Jerry Rice showing up like Joe Montana or Steve Young on the side. I don't recall.
Never.
Like, I don't recall that happening. I don't recall Randy Moss doing that to Tom Brady. So I mean, as a quarterback, I wouldn't want that. I don't recall Shannon Sharp or who was their top, Rod Smith or whatever, doing that to John Elway. I don't recall seeing Mark Duper and all those got to do it at the Marina. But that also goes into the type of leader you are. Like, does Jalen Hurts command that?
I want to bring up I want to bring something up that I was thinking about when I heard the comments. And my mind started wondering about what really could be the issue. What is going? Is it jealousy? Is it what is it? Right? Against the Ravens, I believe it was AJ Brown went to Saquon and told Saquon and said to Saquon, "You gotta put your cape on and get us out of here." And he told this. He said this to the public. So my mind goes to Donovan and Terrell because all the stories that come out saying that Donovan didn't like all the attention Terrell was getting. Like it was Donovan's team, and then Terrell was like the star when he got here, and Donovan. Those were the reports coming out. And then AJ, supposedly Jalen's best friend, goes to Saquon and tells him, "You need to put your cape on and get us out of here." I'm thinking about, you're not going to say that to your quarterback? Your best friend? You're going to go to the running back and tell him to put his cape on? Like
he's starting to lose faith.
Something for a little while now.
I mean, I think if they're that close, you know, like, let's be honest, man. You know what cats can and can't do. You know, I hoot with my brother, who's also college basketball Hall of Famer. You know, that just runs. That's how we do. But but I couldn't, if we were playing together and we needed something, I couldn't go to him like, "Yo, man, I need you to hit these threes, get us back in the game." That's not his game. He can't do that. You know, so that's just me being honest. That's just and him knowing in his head, honest, like, "Yo, I can't hit 5 threes and put him back in the game." Now if Curry's on our team, I'm gonna go say it to Steph. I'm not gonna say it to him. I'm gonna be like, "Yo, Steph, we down about 12. It's about 5 minutes ago. We need a few threes to get us back in this." You
know. We got a comment coming in on the text line. He says, "Hey, I love the podcast. Also tell Santa Josh says hi." Santa Josh says hi. So just so you know.
All right, Josh.
We can wrap it. We can bring the conversation back this a little later, but I wanted to get this special announcement in. And I'm putting a link in the chat for all of our viewers right now to check out. Okay. There is a link in the chat right now that is for a vote. Okay. And this vote is for the Gagliardi Trophy. I said it correctly. It's for the Gagliardi Trophy. Okay.
Oh, this is okay.
The Gagliardi Trophy is the Division III football's Heisman equivalent. Okay, and here's the link right here. Now, you might not be able to see that article that yours truly wrote, but the football player, the young man carrying the ball in about to get tackled, actually doesn't get tackled, but he's carrying the ball there. It's a young man that Coach Santa and myself used to coach. Very stand-up young man, very well-deserving of an award like this, very hardworking. His quote in his yearbook said, let me not mess it up, I'm going to paraphrase, "I'll never let you outwork me." And I believe it. I believe it. Was one of the hardest working kids. He's a man now. He's one of the hardest working kids that I've ever coached. And it came right back on the heels of another hardworking kid. So it was like almost kind of like a passing of the torch. But the Survey Monkey link in the chat, you can go to that link right now or after the show, preferably, and you can vote for Jaquez Mabin. There's his name right there at the top of the screen, JACQUEZ MABIN. He's Greenwood class of 2020, but he goes to Del Valle University right now. He's the defensive end at Del Valle. He is up for the Gagliardi Trophy. I'm proud of this young fella. I hope that he makes it through the semifinals and into the finals, and we'll find out soon. But voting closes December 13th, so get your votes in. I've got mine in, and I hope you guys all can get your votes in for this young man. And just he's well deserving of it. Even if he does not get the award, he's well deserving of it. And it's special to be nominated, right? Like people always say it's special to be nominated. It means a lot. And I honestly didn't really get that. I didn't believe that until now, right? Nominated, Division III football. Out of all the Division III football players in the country, he's one of the semifinalists. So that's amazing, and I hope it works out for him. So shout out to you, Jaquez, and I hope it works out for you. So everybody, we got a little bit more people watching now. Talking about Jaquez Maben, Penwood class of 2020. The link is in the chat. I'm gonna go ahead and put the link in the chat again for y'all.
That's impressive, man. You said defensive end.
He's a defensive end. Yeah,
that's impressive.
With a Gagliardi trophy.
And the one thing that I want to say about this young man, because me and Justin had the privilege of coaching him for baseball, and I just remember him wanting to catch. He just wanted to catch, and he had the mentality, but not the technique. But when I tell you, like, he embraced this, like, he's like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna work on, and I'm just gonna do it and rock and roll. So sometimes there were teams, because I mean, the players that would come through Penwood baseball, were not always the best, but we always had some bright spots here and there. So one of the things, and I know me and Justin would always talk about this when we would visit like MSI, for instance, or one of the stadiums that we were, blessed to play, and they had big backstops. We were always nervous about how many wild pitches we're going to lead up. And I remember talking to Jaquez before a game, doing some pregame stuff in the bullpen. I said, nothing can go by you, like nothing. And I remember specifically that day, every time he called a curveball, I was nervous. I was like, oh, here we go. Nothing got by him that day. So it's like when he puts his mind to it, he becomes like otherworldly, you know what I mean? And he's an awesome he was an awesome young man then, even awesome now, and I personally was proud to coach him.
Absolutely, and I'll finish this with this. I'm going to tell you the story of how he became a varsity player. And I don't think you were at this game, Miguel. I don't think you were there. But we were playing we're playing Delco Christian, at Delco Christian, right? And we were short. Delco Christian did not have a JV team, and Jaquez was actually on the JV team at the time. And I put Jaquez out in right field. And I don't know how the play transpired, but however the play transpired, there might have been a play at the plate and the catcher was not there. I think it might have been a rundown or something. The catcher went to cover third base or something. I don't remember what happened. Jaquez.
I was at the game.
You were at okay. Jaquez and covered the plate from right field.
From right field. I remember that.
From right field, he came and covered the plate. And from that day forward, he never saw JV again. He was on varsity from that day forward and started every game as a varsity player from that day forward. He never saw JV again. So, like, those kids that are watching, those are the things that coaches see that will, take you from JV to varsity. Those are the things that coaches see that coaches will tell college coaches. Let me tell you what he did this one time. Okay? So those are the things that you want to do, kids. There's always, in baseball, I'm just talking about baseball. I know other sports too. In baseball, once the ball is hit, there's always something to do, even if the ball is not hit close to you. All right. So good luck to Jaquez, and make sure y'all get y'all votes in. Jaquez Maben for the he's a semifinalist for the prestigious Gagliardi Trophy, the Division III equivalent of the Heisman Trophy. I wonder if they got like a pose for the Gagliardi. I don't have to see. I have to look it up. Talk about Juan Soto, y'all. But before we do, I want to ask. I'm looking at his face. I want to ask him first. I'm looking at Rob's face. As soon as I said Juan Soto, his eyes, he started here. So I want to ask Rob first. What do you think about the Juan Soto contract? He's getting paid over $760 million over the next 15 years to play baseball. What do you think about that?
Listen, I'm not the resident baseball expert, but I did see that pop up 7 years, $765 million to be exact, comes out to $51 million a year.
And could end up being 800 and something million dollars if the incentives.
Well, you know what? Kudos to that man. Whoever he got representing him, and all the work he's put in. And I looked him up, Miguel. He bats 220. He got 41 home runs, but 220.
And he's got
no, man, I see those things and I'll be like, I think to myself, damn, why did I stop playing baseball? I was in the wrong sport, man.
Dude,
but he got some generation changing money, multi-generation. He does the right thing with it. Like he doesn't. And the baseball contracts are guaranteed, like the NBA, right?
Yeah.
It takes. So I will say this about baseball contracts: the only time that any team can recoup the money is in the rare case where
Miguel, I got to mute your mic. We're losing you. You're starting to sound like you're underwater.
Can you hear me now?
It's still messing up.
What? Can you hear me now?
It's a little better.
Go ahead, let's try it.
Okay. What I'm going to say now may self-destruct in 10 seconds. All right. Was that clear?
You're going to self-destruct in 10 seconds, actually.
Okay. All right.
I think I might want to take my mic back.
No. Sometimes that happens if you shut up. Did you get this mic?
It looks similar to that. It's that blue something, Joe. I got
Blue Yeti.
Yeah, he got the blue one. Okay. All right. Come back to me. I forgot what I was going to say. It's my age.
Right. So so when I saw this, right, I saw actually somebody sent me a like the top contract, like the top 10 contracts in baseball. And like, I don't know, 5 years ago, Miguel, correct me if I'm wrong, Bryce Harper signed with the Phillies for like something $1 million. And at the time we were like, whoa, $300 something million to play baseball. Yo, this dude more than doubled that.
But what was funny about that contract is that he had the highest paid contract in baseball history for 4 days. And then Mike Trout came in. Mike Trout. It was Mike Trout.
Mike Trout got like 430 or something like that, right?
Right, like 4 or 5 days later, which was kind of like it was a mixed bag because that pretty much confirmed that he was never coming to Philadelphia, and I think that fans kind of turned on him because they're like, you didn't do what everybody else did and went for the money and went to a contending team, so now his reputation is like, well, he just wants to play baseball and doesn't care about winning. And now he's just injury prone. So
y'all got boys, right? Are they playing baseball? Baseball or soccer? That's what they need to be playing.
I would like for her to play softball, but
well, I mean, this because softball would be good because they're starting a league.
They ain't gonna get no Juan Soto money though.
Well, not yet. I mean, but if you figure if they can do it like the NBA financially backs the WNBA, I mean, it could be something down the line. Not Juan Soto, maybe Juanita Soto, but
Yeah, but that takes some. I did it. So he's 20. He's 24 now. Wait,
26.
No, he's 26. So at 41, he will have. Or I'm not even counting. I don't even know how much he got paid now. This whatever contract he's on now. 26 to 41, he would have made $765 million. He don't have to. He can be. He don't need to play the 41, and I'm done. I'm out of here.
Oh,
I don't need to do anything else.
That's what I was gonna say. So the only way that a player can lose money, their guaranteed money, is if they are suspended by steroids, or if they have had like a medical malpracticing. Because there was a player, great. You remember a player, Coach Justin, Grady Sizemore?
Yes.
So he signed with the Yankees for an exclusive deal. Only played like maybe 36 games or whatever, and then hasn't played since. He's still under contract, but he developed like a back issue, which he said the Yankees messed up. So he went and got a personal trainer, and they were like squabbling. And I believe the Yankees filed a grievance against the player, and they won. So they actually got some of that money back. But other than that, it's all guaranteed.
It doesn't even matter. if they took 400 of it, it don't
matter. he could cheat at any point and be okay.
Oh my goodness. So they could take 200 million. I still have made 500. So
I want to ask you guys this, because I think it's a yes. We gonna see $1 billion athlete in our lifetime?
Oh God, yeah.
You talking about just off the contract?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. You think about inflation and everything, and they already had 765 million. But I'll tell you,
5 years ago was at 300 something million.
I'll tell you where you want to see it first is either going to be through baseball or through football, soccer.
Soccer, yeah.
They're close to.
I think soccer is going to. I think we'll see it in soccer first, but baseball is. Because the next big free agent that signs is going to be making $780 million.
Yeah, you know what the sick thing about this is that statistically, he isn't even the best player. So he was the best player on the market this year. But you compare this to Shohei Ohtani, who was actually the best player on the freaking planet, who earned that and then some. And now he's like the second best paid of all time. Probably going to be the third when it's all said and done.
Look at what he's getting paid. Isn't he out for the season?
No, he's a rare breed in the fact that he was out for the season as a pitcher, but as a hitter he played the whole season. And I think there was even a rumor that he was going to try to pitch in the postseason, and so he's going to start earning his money next year as both a hitter and a pitcher, which we haven't seen in this lifetime. Not since Babe Ruth.
So Yoda says Bryce Harper got to be sick right now seeing all these numbers, all these new contracts out now. Absolutely. But you know what I was going to say, though? Juan Soto stays healthy.
That's true.
He's going to be out there every day. Bryce Harper going to stay healthy.
Sound like somebody we know, Miguel.
It does. It absolutely does. Another Philadelphia athlete. Absolutely.
Sound like
Bryce Harper.
It sounds like a certain 7 foot forward.
Both y'all, because I have the power to do that.
Sounds like it's.
So I'm gonna go. So y'all are muted, so it doesn't even matter what y'all want to say right now. But yeah, Bryce Harper doesn't stay healthy. He's earning more money than any athlete in Philadelphia right now, I believe, and he can't stay healthy. He's out for months at a time, just like Joel Embiid. He's out months at a time, and he's had about the same kind of success as Joel Embiid. I mean, no, Joel Embiid hasn't been out the second round, but as we all three of us said, it don't matter unless it's a championship. So I'll go ahead and unmute y'all.
We unmuted ourselves. We found the unmute button. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But y'all still can't talk without me approving it, so it's okay.
So someone has some power hungry issues.
Hey, I mute my wife on this station, so don't think I won't mute y'all.
Yeah,
like my wife's off.
That's why he's in the basement now playing. That's why he's in the basement now learning bass with his sconces.
Yeah.
Get started. Don't you get me
Man,
started.
these baseball. Is it too late? You guys are baseball, savants. Is it too late? I mean, Eddie Murray batted DH, so he's 46.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. Yeah.
Give me another a year or two in the batting cages. You know what I'm saying?
Unfortunately, it's too late. It was too late to be a rookie once you turn 25.
Man, if I can get this knee going though, I probably could give it about a good 60 games.
You could probably bring somebody.
I go to American League, I can DH, man. That's all I need.
Yeah. But see, you look the part. Like, you know, we might need a plastic surgeon to get rid of some stuff.
Yeah, I definitely don't look. Rob definitely looks the part. And you're 6'8", right?
Mm-hmm.
But you're probably 6'9.5" with cleats.
Like Aaron Judge, man. If Aaron Judge can do it, I can do it.
So here's what you do. If you can get in a 6-month to 8-month program and just sign with somebody, that would be your retirement.
Here's my suggestion.
Do they make little money in the minor league? They make decent money.
They make decent money. Like I think the highest, if you make it to AAA, because there's what, single A,
major league player. They make. If you're not going to be a major league player, you ain't make. You're living with.
No. But they're like the highest you can probably make, other than being like drafted, on average, could be like, I don't know, 150K.
Oh damn!
Yeah,
that's rare.
That's
like
before federal and jock tax.
They might be on the big roster at some point. Might be.
Yeah, I think the major league minimum is like 980.
980. That sounds.
Like 8 or 980.
Oh, here we go. He says you can't compare leadership of Harper to MB. Harper's leadership is felt on the team even when he's out. Yeah, because they can't win when he's out.
But see, but the other thing is too hold on. But the other thing is too is baseball, because you have double the games. You know, he could literally afford to miss 30 games and come right back, and they could be floating above water, and he has the benefit of all those games. So that's one advantage that he would have over Embiid. But
he's still not performing.
But I understood. But here's the thing. Hold on. But here's the difference. Harper will say, I'm not performing. I sucked. I didn't do my job. And Embiid is like, I don't understand what everybody's complaining about.
Because Harper's more mature.
Everything. But see, right there, it's a maturity thing.
Oh, okay. Let's trade Embiid because he's not mature.
You know what?
Who wants to give up assets for the immature athlete? Y'all hit me up.
You know what Harper also did? I believe. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. They took his team to the World Series last time.
Correct.
And I'll tell you what Harper didn't do that Juan Soto did: win the World Series. Juan Soto won the World Series the minute Bryce Harper left DC. As soon as Bryce Harper left DC, that team won the World Series. Guess what the Phillies did? Not win the World Series since Bryce Harper has been there.
We talking about Bryce Harper and Joel Embiid.
I'm telling you that they both have not won championships.
I'm telling you, one is at least able to push his team to the top.
So let me go back to a few months back when I asked y'all if it's a champ. Does it matter if it's a championship? It's not a championship. Y'all said it don't matter if it's not a championship. Bryce Harper has not won a championship.
But which team is more likely to be competitive enough and have the balls?
The superstar on it. Tell me that. Don't tell me most likely. The Phillies was most likely to win a World Series this year. What happened? They didn't get out the first round.
Right, and he took responsibility for that.
You give your team. You don't even have. It's different.
You guys are trying too hard. There's no buts because there's no championship.
We're not trying. We're not trying at all.
They both have MVPs. Neither one of them have championships. And y'all said it don't matter unless it's a championship.
It matters because you have a chance.
Why does it matter now? It didn't
you
matter.
You have a chance.
It doesn't matter if it's not a championship. Y'all said it don't matter.
I don't recall that. Do you recall that, Leon?
Not at all.
I'll
But
go-
here's the thing.
I'll
We're
go
gonna,
to
we're gonna have to pull the tapes. I wish we had a production team.
I will pull the tape, and if found, it will immediately delete. Now, the thing going. So it's like, all right. Whenever
talking to us. I don't know what he's saying.
what'd you say?
That's what I'm saying to us right now. Huh?
Because you keep cutting me off.
No, your mic is cutting you off. Well, I'm not cutting you.
No, you kept talking over me. Now,
I'm gonna let the people tell you we can't hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead. I don't even know what you're saying. I can't laugh with you. I don't know what you said.
right. Okay, I got you.
Oh, you sounding better now. Go ahead.
Look,
Okay, yeah.
Read the comment out. Read the comment.
Yeah. That's a funny comment.
We're talking about Harper and Embiid. Coach, Harper was the best player in the World Series. No, he wasn't. I don't think he was, but maybe he was. He might have been. He was. But Embiid playoff career stats is horrible. Is it? Somebody tell me what Embiid averages in the playoffs.
But nobody can tell you because he only goes in the first 2 rounds, and nobody cares after that.
Well, here's the thing: when you say horrible, Justin, when he says horrible, you got to think. I think outside of this past playoffs, where I think he averaged about 30 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Every year, his playoff stats, his regular season stats drop in the playoffs. So to me,
I just want you to know I don't have Embiid anywhere in the notes. I don't know why we're talking about Embiid, but go ahead.
It's fun. It's like it's like Stephen A. talking about the Cowboys. You know.
Okay. All right. Speaking of Cowboys, he said, "Coach sounds like a Cowboys fan now. We have 5 rings. Blah blah blah."
All right, so let me.
You're a delusional Cowboys fan for Joel Embiid.
You are the here. All right, here's. Let me ask you this, right?
Hold on. What did I say today that's delusional about Joel Embiid? What did I say today delusional about Joel Embiid? Because the last few weeks, all I've said is I can't defend the man no more. So y'all tell me what I've said today that is delusional about Joel Embiid. I'll take my feet up on the floor. I'm giving you.
It wasn't that you said anything delusional. Yeah, we're gonna use it. That's a new word. That's
because I definitely didn't think delusional.
The delusion was
your defense is delusional.
You're saying you're comparing. Hold on. Let me talk. You had the floor.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yeah. Next time I will object and move to strike. So the delusion that you have is that Embiid, superstar, alleged. Bryce Harper, superstar, alleged. Just because they haven't won the chip, are the same player.
No,
you say
player,
but you're dumbing what Bryce Harper has done. Let me talk. Let me finish.
That's totally different.
Hold on. No. Because you're saying, well, Bryce Harper didn't win a championship, and so he's the same as Embiid. No, he's not the same as Embiid because at the end of this, when there's an off season and Bryce Harper's name is listed as healthy and ready to start, I'm thinking in my mind that the Phillies have a chance. When Embiid,
and then you get disappointed, but go ahead.
See, there you go. You're thinking that
what I said.
I'm talking about effort. Embiid is pretty much the for who for what of Philadelphia. I'm just saying he's the for who for what. He has the potential to go down in Philadelphia lore as the I'm sorry to say this, the Black Sean Bradley. That's what he has the potential to go down because of the fact.
No. There's no way in hell I'm gonna let you get away with that. There's no way in hell I'm gonna let you get away with that. No way in hell. No, don't unmute yourself. No.
Oh,
Black Sean Bradley. First of all, Sean Bradley as a Sixer didn't even sniff the playoffs.
I'm trying. I'm gonna get some popcorn.
Yeah, get some popcorn. The Black Sean Bradley.
I said what I said.
The only similarity between Sean Bradley and Joel Embiid is they ain't win championships. That's it.
I'm just saying.
I'm wondering how many times Sean Bradley scored 20 points in a game, let alone 30.
I bet he played enough games to at least have the chance.
But I'm sure his results didn't matter because he was ass.
Touche. But lately,
yeah, he was draws. He was the target.
Right, but isn't that what Embiid is now?
No. He's not. He's not the target. When Embiid is in the game, they're avoiding the lane. When Bradley was in the game, they were trying to dunk on the 7'6" guy. Everybody dunk on Sean. I tried to dunk on Sean Bradley.
And you have no footage of this?
No.
I just think that Embiid lost his heart. I just think he. When I think of Embiid, I just think of all. Hold on, let me finish. When I think of Embiid, I'm gonna keep talking over you. That's fine too, because I paid my dues too.
You're talking about the person. I'm not talking about the person. I'm talking about the results. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, if you would allow me to control the board.
But what's like? It's funny how, here comes the delusion again. Every time I have a defense, you've talked over me.
You're bringing stuff into the conversation that has nothing to do with the conversation.
Absolutely, no, it absolutely does. It affects the championship caliber of the team.
So you said I was talking delusional about Embiid, but you have not brought up anything today that I said delusional about Embiid today. So you're putting stuff out there that's not true in order to make some type of point about a person when I'm trying to make a point about results. That's it. Where's the delusion? I didn't say, well, Embiid would have been out there dunking all over Steph Curry if the ball that Kawhi shot. No, he ain't been to a championship. He ain't won one. Bryce Harper won a championship, but he ain't won one.
Let me
say the championship trophy is not in Philadelphia for either one of these guys.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question and answer this honestly. Between the Phillies and the Sixers, who do you think is closer to a championship
today?
Yeah,
the Phillies.
Okay,
that's an easy question.
Okay,
but Deoda says the Black Sean Bradley is pushing it, Sanders. So that's what you call delusional. Something like that. That's what you call delusional.
All I'm saying is his trajectory is going straight off a cliff. Can it change? He's still young enough that it could change, but it just doesn't seem like that's going to happen in Philadelphia.
Is Bryce Harper getting better?
Minus the injuries, he actually is.
Now we want to minus the injuries.
Well, I mean, because it is a known fact that he's gotten injured the last few years, but
every year.
Okay.
Every year.
Okay. That's fair. That is fair.
You too.
But he managed to single-handedly take his team to a World Series. He put the team on his back and got them to a World Series.
Single-handedly?
Yeah.
Single-handedly.
Who hit the game-winning home run in the NLCS in 23 to get them to the World Series?
What baseball player
is the MVP of that series?
What baseball players ever
managed to change positions from being an outfielder to a DH, and now he's one of the best defensive first basemen.
And guess what happened when you did that? You lost a power hitter that you could have used in the playoffs this year.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about Rhys Hoskins.
Rhys Hoskins was butt.
Rhys Hoskins was a power hitter.
Correct. And remember what happened? So okay, hold on. No. Now you're really delusional. You remember how many times Rhys Hoskins, the year of the World Series, he dropped the ball at first base. You remember he got booed quite a bit because his defense was garbage.
He was a bad first baseman. But guess what? But guess what? When Rhys Hoskins was on the team, guess what happened? They got to the World Series.
But he did.
Have they gotten to the World Series since Rhys Hoskins hasn't been on the team? Yes or no?
This is true. You're right. But it wasn't. He wasn't the one that got them to the World Series. He had one good series, the series against the Mets, and that was it.
Okay.
And that was it.
You don't remember Castellanos having didn't he like break what's Reggie Jackson's record or something?
Mm-hmm.
In the playoffs in the World Series or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
So is that still Bryce Harper single-handedly getting the Phillies to the World Series?
The way that I remember it is Phillies were down 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th in game 5 against the Padres.
I remember, and he hit a home run
to get them to the World Series. He was the National League Championship Series MVP. Mm-hmm. He did his part.
Mm-hmm.
And you can even say this past year, yes, the team did not make it past the Mets, but it wasn't because of him.
Why not? What did he do to avoid it? Since he single-handedly got them to the World Series.
He played defense and he hit home runs and he hit the opposite. He did him and Castellanos had a good series. They both had good series. It was the pitching it was the pitching and the defense that let us down.
I like to put out there that with Share Playground, I never dropped the ball at first base.
Oh, what'd you say? You said it. Whoa, what happened?
So, on my Share Playground team, I never dropped the ball at first base. Was error free.
Oh, God.
We had some hands and some stretch. You know what I'm saying? I just like to put that out there.
Unbelievable.
First base is probably the most important place on the field outside of catcher that needs to catch the ball.
Hello.
Harper, head and shoulders, a better first baseman than Rhys Hoskins.
Wait, how isn't he short? How tall is he?
Who, Bryce?
He's like he's like 5'11", 6 foot. So he's like an average first base. Most they try to put the biggest person there as a first base. So you see most first basemen at like 6'2", 6'3". But again, he's an outfielder. He actually was a catcher.
He was a catcher growing
so
up.
Where is Aaron Judge? Where does he play?
Outfield, unfortunately.
How
he's going to be back in right field probably this year.
No, he can be back in DH.
He's like 6'6" in the outfield.
Say again?
Why is he like 6'6" in the outfield?
Probably because he's scared to have the ball thrown at him.
Probably.
I love first base, man. I used to, those short ones, and you scoop it up. It's like, damn, it's a bad boy. I'm telling you, man. Oh man, what was that, Miguel?
Moral of the story is
the pleasure of playing with me on the team, and I deprived you of that. For that, I'm sorry.
Dude, we all looked at you like, yeah, he gonna play first base. We all said the same thing. We're gonna put him at first base.
Moral of the story, guys. Juan Soto signs a $760 million contract. He only has one World Series ring that he won, 5 years ago?
2019. No, yeah, 2019.
19, so 5 years ago. Power hitter, we shall see. He gets 3 to 4 at-bats a game, so I'm going to have somebody do the math and tell me how much he gets paid per at-bat.
Oh, I had that.
Gets something like $300-something thousand a game. $350,000 a game. He's gonna be getting paid. He's gonna be getting paid. Shout out to Juan
I got
Soto.
it. I got it. So he's going to be making 51 million a year, 4.25 million a month, 980,000 a week, $140,000 a day, $5,821 an hour,
How much
and
again? An hour?
$5,821 an hour,
Okay.
and $98 per minute.
I figure out how I can make that happen.
See, and that's what people got to understand. So it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense for him to like change his own oil or bend over and pick up $1 because the amount of money that he makes and the time that it takes him to bend over and pick up $1 off the ground, he's losing money.
He's losing money. He loses money when he gives effort.
Man, I didn't think about it like that, but damn.
We got more mindsets. I'm getting off of something else right now, but just
that's the type of money that you'll just go out and just spend stupid stuff and just blow your money because you have so much that you don't know when to stop because you don't really have to.
Listen, these athletes, if they could put like a portion of their money together, they would end world hunger. You know, they can fund schools. You know what I mean? Like, but
if the top 2 paid athletes could put their money together, they could buy a couple of teams. And maybe not a couple. They could buy a team. Maybe the cheapest team, whatever that may be. I don't know.
Yeah, but you know, you got the gatekeepers, man. You got the good old boys. You can't. You think it's not just about money. You know, I think there's been a lot of ownership groups that had the money and they just chose for some reason to purchase the team. They didn't get
chose being the operative word. They chose for some reason.
So
all right, do we have anything else we gotta get to, guys? I think we touched upon it all, right?
I got a closing question for you since we were talking about Bryce Harper and Embiid. In their respective sports, will Bryce Harper make the baseball Hall of Fame, and will Joel Embiid make the basketball Hall of Fame?
Bryce is a Hall of Famer right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel Embiid will make it?
Joe is not right now. I don't think Joe is a Hall of Famer. I don't think so. He's popular. He's famous. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. If his career ended right now, he's not a Hall of Famer. If Bryce's career ended right now,
and it's sad because the potential is there. It's just he's not there yet.
And I hope neither one of their careers ends today because neither one has a championship, and I would like both of them to get a championship.
Wait, didn't he just play?
Those people personally get a championship. I just want the teams to get it. I don't care if the person gets a championship. I want the team.
Did Embiid just play?
He played the other day, yeah. Had like 31 points or something like that. They won 108-100 against the Bulls.
Oh, good for him.
Don't play again until Friday, so he should play again, but who knows?
He said, "Good for him."
Good for him. That's what's up.
When he doesn't score 30, I'm disappointed in him. I'll be like, yo. And let me ask you something, Rob, real quick. Is it fair for me, and take your bias out of it about Embiid and all that, right? Is it fair for me as a fan of Embiid to be a little disappointed when he doesn't score 27 or more points?
Yeah, I think that's fair. Especially since he went through a whole season averaging 31 or whatever it was. He's that type of player.
Averaging like 35 a game last
year. Yeah, he's that type of player. He definitely should get.
Yoda said, if Yao Ming can make the Hall of Fame, Joel can make the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but here's what I learned.
Yao Ming showed up though.
Here's what we had to learn.
He had foot issues.
He got those injuries. But here's the thing. Here's what we got to learn. Where I had to learn, and it's hard for me because I feel like the NBA should do what the NFL and like baseball does, right?
I think you're about to say what I was about to mention. Where?
Like, is it? Well, I don't know if the baseball does it, but the NFL, like, it's the NFL Hall of Fame.
Right.
You know, with basketball, I think everybody forgets that it's not the NBA Hall of Fame.
Right.
It's the Basketball Hall of Fame. And so Yao Ming, with his president, what he did for China, you know, for that exposure to China,
Mm-hmm.
that's why he got in. But I don't see I mean, Embiid just helped this case in terms of basketball because he was just on the Olympic team. But outside of that, he hasn't done anything about like when you look at somebody like Carmelo as a freshman, led Syracuse, he got gold medals with the USA team, and then also his NBA career. So when you look at that, he's going to get in. He's going to get in. Even though when you look at NBA, you like, well, his NBA career, yeah, he scored, but he didn't really, you know. So, but with all the other stuff, he's in.
You consider Melo a winner?
A winner?
That's a tough one, right? Because
Melo's
Melo's
serious. I'm gonna remove myself because I get biased because I don't like people.
That's why I asked. I kind of.
I don't like people who like that stunt he pulled at the Olympics and all that stuff. Like I just don't bang with that.
What did he do in the Olympics?
When I think it was Larry Brown when they weren't playing him and LeBron wasn't playing, like he took his jersey off, like powdered and all of that stuff. And then also on Denver one time he refused to go in the game. Like that stuff doesn't.
George Karl was coaching.
It might have been. It might have been because him and George Karl didn't get along. But like stuff like that, I just don't. I don't agree with, man. I can't come back from that. We had a kid at Drexel I got into an altercation with before, but the following season, this kid was the leading scorer. He took the most shots, and very athletically gifted. But he would consistently take risks on defense, leave us hanging 5-on-4, things like that, forget the plays and stuff like that. So my coach decided we were playing at Palestra, we were playing Penn. And Bruiser. And he was screwing up. So Bruiser Yankee, come over here, sit next to me. Don't you know the next day we talk to Bruiser and he says, "Oh, this guy quit."
Really?
He quit. Bruiser said, "Oh, he quit and he won't be rejoining the team." Like, yo, he's not coming back. Then he reneged on what he said and came to us and said, "Well, he wants back on the team. It's up to you guys." So we call a meeting. We get together, we get a meeting. The ball's on this kid. This dude is from Delaware. He shows up late to the meeting. That's the first thing. And then comes in trying to intimidate. We're having a conversation before he get there. I said, "Look, man, I don't want him on the team. If I can't trust him when the things are up for you, right? You're the leading scorer. You take a lot of shots. And then you quit. So how can I trust you when things go bad? When we in the trenches? No, I don't want him back on the team." So he comes in.
I had a similar situation, but we didn't get to. It was two players at the same time. They both walked off the field again and cut the coach out. And don't you know they played the next day?
Yeah, you can't do that. I didn't like that he reneged on that because he told me he's not coming back. And then you put it into, basically you put it in children's hands. So he comes in and he's like trying to punk everybody. Like, yo, anybody who don't want me on this and that. I said, me. I don't want you back on the team, bro.
And he said, well, who else besides Rob?
Yeah, because I knocked his ass. I knocked his ass out once before already.
Ooh.
So he wasn't embarking this street.
Similar to your situation, after that game, our coach said they're done. They're not back on this team. They won't ever be back. And they played the next day.
Yeah, I went and I told the coach that. Captain was like talking to the coach, like, yeah, well, everybody said they don't really mind or this and that. I was like, no, tell him. I said no. Your battle said no. And that was it. He wasn't back on the team.
Because Rob Battle lays down the law.
And that's the thing, man. People gotta understand, like, when you mentioned Donovan and Terrell Owens, he didn't like the attention and things like that they were getting. People gotta humble themselves, man. I played overseas. A lot of times they weren't trying to have the Americans as captains and things like that. I didn't need a C on my shirt. I didn't need to be labeled the captain to know that I was the leader. Everybody know. Y'all can be the captain, but you know who runs this shit. Like, come on, let's be honest. You know who the team following. Like, that's fine. Yeah, you can go out there and you're the one who talks to the refs and all of that stuff and accepts the trophies and all of that's fine. That's fine and dandy. But when I come out here and I'm laying it on the line, they following that. That's what they following. And when I talk, they listen. So I'm not worried about who gets the recognition and all of that stuff, because I know people see it. People see it. People not dumb.
All right, we'll leave it at that. We're gonna leave it at that, man. We're gonna get up out of here. Oh, it's almost 20 after noon. I gotta go work tomorrow. Y'all tripping. We gonna get up out of here. Maybe we had a great conversation. I don't know how we got on MB, but somehow every week we get on MB and we have a great time talking about it. I'll tell you that right. We have a good time talking about it. I love it. But right now we're gonna get up out of here. Appreciate y'all hanging with us here on the Check Swing Podcast with myself, with Coach Sinner, and the Hall of Famer, Mr. Rob Battle. We are going to talk. Hold on. I gotta mute you, getting feedback from you. We'll talk to y'all next week after the Eagles. We'll have to see what they do with Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is weird. We don't know what the heck is going on with Pittsburgh. Thank you, Deotis. Appreciate it. Appreciate your support, big homie. Is that the brother that you said you wouldn't ask him to hit 5 threes in a row?
Yeah, that's my brother. That's my brother right there.
Hey, 5 layups in a row, bro. We good. We need that. 5 layups. We need that.
Yo, shout out to the Black Sean Bradley. Let's roll. Yo, that's the funniest.
You just threw me all the way off with that one. You threw me all the way. What was I doing? Oh, I'm getting out of here. All right, look, we gonna talk to y'all next week here on the Check Swing Podcast. We appreciate y'all for hanging with us, and that's all I'm gonna say about that, because he done threw off my whole train of thought, y'all. Talk to y'all next week. Peace.